We all know communication skills are important and they need to be taught. The communication skills curriculum I am talking about today is aimed at high schoolers, and it's not our regular choice, but we will make it work for us with a few tweaks. Stay tuned to find out more. Hi, I'm Laura from monkeyamount.com with reviews and tips for homeschoolers. Thank you for being here. If you're new, please consider subscribing and turn the notifications on to see when I post new content. This video is part of a full blog post that you can find linked in the description below. Today's sponsor is Paradigm Accelerated Curriculum, and they offered me their English Communication Skills Kit to review. Even though my son just turned 11 and this curriculum is aimed at 7th grade and up, I felt that this is something we could do as an elective. We loved most of the features, but there are a few aspects that won't work for us. Keep watching to see what they are. PAC stands for Paradigm Accelerated Curriculum, and they have an experience of over 20 years of offering good quality materials to homeschoolers and schools and preparing children for college. PAC's mission is to incorporate academics with character development and to create a thoroughly rounded curriculum that will help teenagers become their best versions both academically and virtuously. Their courses come in both digital and print formats and are mainly aimed at high school. The format allows for student independence and learning with confidence. I need to make a mention here that while PAC state they work for secular families too, they do have Christian and conservative views that transpire from the text chosen and the way of expressing their opinion about certain topics. I will mention the ones we observed in our books in this review. English Communication Skills is a curriculum kit aimed at 7 to 12 graders, and it's available in both print and digital formats. We received it in digital format, and I've got the full kit containing 18 PDFs. I have the texts, which were 5 files, the activity book, which was 5 files, and the teacher resources, which contains the answers, tests, quizzes, and forms, 8 files. The texts have color images and items, but the rest of them, the activity book and tests, are all black and white, making them convenient to print. Each textbook has a corresponding activity book. The textbooks are organized into 5 books. Each book will treat 1 chapter or 15 lessons each, and they cover enough material to last 9 months of school. Each lesson will cover multiple communication skills while including character-enhancing values and principles through quotes. Lessons have 3 main parts: the text, which includes vocabulary and comprehension questions in the activity book. The communication skills, these cover multiple aspects of language like grammar, spelling, typing, literature, cursive writing, composition, note-taking skills, presentations, reasoning, and so on. And the life principles, quotes and verses meant to encourage, inspire, and enhance character traits. We've worked through some texts, and my first impression was that of quality and positivity. There are a handful of texts, though, that we will skip over because they don't align with our values and the way we chose to treat education in our family. These don't dwarf the quality of the material overall, and I still think we have a lot to gain if we complete English communication skills. My son listened while I read aloud about Ernest Shackleton and his enduring adventures. Even though the text was only 1 page long, it was full of information, details, context, and vocabulary. Each vocabulary word is bolded in the text and then explained in the vocabulary box, making this very easy for children to read independently. I like that the vocabulary is always on the same page as the context, and it's not limited only to the literature page. There are vocabulary boxes throughout explaining all the complex words kids might encounter. After reading the text, we had the grammar introduction to parts of speech. Reading through it all, I realized the explanations are to the point and very easy to understand, and I immediately made up my mind that we will use this curriculum. The life principles are usually encouraging, uplifting quotes. Some are written by the authors themselves. I found we enjoyed discussing and analyzing them, and they offered us the occasion to delve deeper into the meaning of each of these. There are 5 activity booklets corresponding to each textbook. The text is black and white and the format is simple and straightforward. There is an activity section for each lesson. They are all arranged in chronological order and correspond to parts from the textbooks. The activities include fill in the blanks, word activities, grammar, analyzing, and memorization, where kids need to remember and write the life principle down. My son is used to worksheets, so he found the activity booklet easy to navigate. These are all standard worksheets, academic and structured, like in a school setting. There is a lot of recalling information from the text and even memorizing the short life principle presented in the text. The English Communication Skills Kit also comes with tests and quizzes. These will ensure kids get plenty of possibilities to practice what they've learned. They also offer testing practice opportunities for those students that aren't used to standardized testing. The tests and quizzes come in a black and white format, and they are organized as follows. Quizzes are every 5 lessons, making these 3 quizzes per chapter. Tests, 1 test per chapter. The tests and quizzes are the classic multiple choice questions, matching or fill in the blank. If the students get over 85% on all 3 quizzes from a chapter, they might be exempt from the chapter test. The quizzes and tests are pretty traditional. The focus is mostly on memorization and recalling information. There is no higher order thinking or analyzing involved. For this stage, we just finished 5th grade, this type of testing is okay for my son. The teacher resources cover all the answers for activity, tests, and quizzes. They also have various forms that might be useful for independent homeschool families for reporting or portfolio purposes. I feel that English communication skills is a great tool for reinforcing and bridging the gaps some students might have. It's also a great introductory tool for communication skills for younger students in grades 7 to 9, and we will use it in this range and purpose. I already mentioned a few of the things we like, so I will quickly list some of the things we appreciate about this program. Short lessons. The texts are short, about 1 to 2 pages, and the lessons can be done in about 30 minutes. Independent. It's so easy to implement and can be used independently by students. They could even correct their own tests and grade themselves. Versatile. Great for struggling older students or for introducing concepts to 7th graders and up. I find this to be very versatile when it comes to age and skills. Neatly organized. I love that you have all books lined up and the system is easy to follow through. Accessible. It's accessible pricing and formats available. Having the option to pick between PDF or printed books makes this accessible worldwide, something I always appreciate in a program. Qualitative texts. For the texts we liked, I was impressed with the choices made. They cover a variety of topics meant to inspire and engage students. Inspiring. The life principles are mostly quotes that can spark further conversation, and it's something I was looking to incorporate in our homeschool. I want to slowly introduce my son to the art of analyzing and dissecting a text, and what better way to start than with short quotes. Thorough. I found the communication skills section to be thorough. I love the variety of skills covered, and this section made my mind up about the kit. It adds a lot of value to our homeschool and covers some important topics for us, like note-taking, reasoning, typing, and composition. I felt that English communication skills had a few instances where it clashed with our view of the world. There are a few biblical references that I didn't mind because they are mostly presented in historical context. We will use these as a way to discuss how various people think and what they believe. What I minded though were the overtly conservative views and what I felt to be unsuitable topics in a literature book. I didn't appreciate the choice of texts for about 5 lessons that were treating topics about infatuation, lust, teen pregnancies, inappropriate dressing, dating, and so on. Finding this handful of texts mixed among encouraging, positive example texts felt very off to me. Maybe they won't feel the same for more traditional homeschoolers. Still, overall, this kit is a treasure, and we will skip the parts that didn't sit well with me while taking advantage of their great choice of texts, vocabulary in context, and English communication skills presented throughout the book. English communication skills would be great for struggling students, but it might seem too light for older students that don't struggle. If you have a bright high schooler, they might need more challenging work. My advanced 5th grader is working through these with no issues. So let me switch my camera over and show you inside the books. So these are the main components of the kit, which we received as PDF files. The printed books will look a bit different and they will be differently organized. I made coordinating covers and just bound them all together because I want to save space this year. You can find these covers for free in my resource library on my blog. The main components are the texts and activity book. I also made a single booklet for the quizzes and tests and a separate one for answers and extra teacher materials. The spine of the program are the text booklets. There are 5 color booklets which I just bound together here in a single book. The lessons follow a bit of a pattern being made up of several parts. The text, which is usually short, a few photos as you can see, a vocabulary box which is very handy. If we move on, you can see that we continue with the language skills, in this case the parts of speech. The information presented is thorough and I really appreciate these sections. At the end of the lesson, we have the life principle. These are quotes or pieces of wisdom shared by the authors. I found these to be great conversation starters. The texts chosen are positive and encouraging, except a handful which treat subjects that didn't sit well with us, like lust, teen pregnancy, provocative dressing, and so on. I noticed these were concentrated in chapter 3. I only found 2 such texts and a few more have biblical mentions, which weren't an issue for us, but they might be for other secular homeschoolers. You can see the samples on their website for free. I love that the rest of the texts are well chosen and they speak about explorers, people that overcame obstacles. They are examples of well-written fiction like animal stories or even articles on topics like dyslexia. I will show you a few samples. After completing the textbook, students will move to the corresponding activity book. The activities are varied but traditional. Fill in the blanks and choose the correct answer. There isn't much in terms of critical thinking or analyzing, which would work great for kids that struggle. They would greatly benefit from having things presented in a chronological order too. The answers to all the activities are in the answer book, and there are booklets for quizzes or tests. Quizzes will be administered every 3 lessons and tests once per chapter. The teacher resources also include forms, as you can see. After considering all points, we rated English communication skills from PAC at 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's a program we will continue using by tweaking it to suit our needs, and I am happily contemplating trying out their chemistry and physics for a conceptual approach on the subjects. Do you have any programs that you like parts of but you need to tweak to make them work in your homeschooling? How do you go about that? Let me know in the comments below. I hope this video has been useful. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay curious.